All right, how to sell on Amazon in 2025, how to pick the perfect product. That is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video today. And what gives me the credentials? Well, I've taught thousands and thousands of students how to sell on Amazon. I've sold my business for multiple seven figures. I have a lot of friends that do 8, 7, 8, 9 figures. I learn a lot from them. So I'm kind of condensing everything I know into one video. 2025, selling on Amazon have changed. E-commerce have changed. But I would say the meat is still the same. Like 80% of it is still the same. But there are little nuances here and there that I think are a little bit different. So anyways, let's get started. So these are not really in any sort of orders per se, level of importance. These are just kind of, ideas that I have in my head and what I've seen work. But number one is if you're selling a physical product, it better be lightweight, right? When it comes to shipping, when it comes to Amazon storage fees, when it comes to everything, these are a huge cost usually. So I would really stay on the lighter side of things. So when we were selling a derma roller or vitamin C serum or any sort of skincare products, the good thing about skincare products, they're all really small. So our shipping was quite low. So this is a good example of a product that is small and lightweight. A product that is not a good example is something like Plant Stand. This is something that we also sold. I had no business selling this product because I did not like stands at all or plants at all. If you paid me, I couldn't keep a freaking damn plant alive. So I don't know what I was doing. But this is the opposite, right? You take a look at this. Oh my gosh, $22. These guys are probably making like $1 off of each one. Now, here's the thing. You can tell that these are a lot of them are Chinese suppliers. You know what? Chinese people, let me tell you something. I'm Chinese myself. They don't care about margins. They care about volume, okay? So they care about quantity. They just want to sell a lot of it. So when it comes to going up against Chinese suppliers, Chinese sellers, you're not going to beat them in margins, right? So really stay away from products that are larger. Now, at the same time, I will say, having business for so long, there's not just one way to do this. What I'm telling you is Tom's way, but there's also Steven's way or Chris's way or Jennifer's way. Everybody have different strategies. It's kind of like similar to golf. I started playing golf 2 years ago, and there's so many different swings. There's not really one textbook swing, if that makes sense. You look at the greatest golfers and you put them side by side, everybody have different swings. So you got to find your own swing in a way. But based on my experience, put it this way. This is what I would do in 2025 going forward. So take it for whatever it's worth. So is it lightweight? That's the first thing. I know people that sell stand-up desks on Amazon because there's less competition. So they're like, hey, I'm okay with having to deal with a little bit, logistical issues. The thing with, if you go on Amazon, right, like these sizing tiers, so you got your small standard size, large standard size, small oversize. As you get higher over the tiers, the less competition there's going to be because most people teach their students how to sell small standard size, large standard size, small oversize, so on and so forth. And a lot of people do make a lot of money in these oversizes. But again, the business can get more risky and it's more complex as well. So just kind of sharing what I'm thinking in my head right now. So the second thing, if there's no patents or trademarks, this is pretty self-explanatory. You got to make sure that you check USPTO, making sure that the product does not have a patent. I've seen people launching products with patents. Man, it sucks. Like, this is probably the worst mistake you can make selling on Amazon because of patent issues. Now, I know people that sell maybe patented products on D2C, like e-commerce, they can kind of get away with that. But on Amazon, you're cooked, okay? So do not sell anything that is patented. Pay someone on Upworks, on Fiverr to do a patent search for you. And if there's anything even that comes remotely close that you're like, hey, is this it? I would really stay away from that, okay? And then trademark, this is more for when you have branding. So just making sure that you don't use, Apple, Nike. These are kind of common sense. I think this is super important. Can your product have a good hook? So what I mean by that is nowadays, short form video is so important. This is how people consume information, and people scroll on TikTok, people scroll on Instagram, and these are the places you definitely want to have your product on. You can do creators, influencers, so on and so forth, or even your own page. So the question is like, does your product have a good hook? Now, I'm going to show you all a good example of what a good hook looks like. So I came across this video and it literally stopped me in my tracks. I was like, wow, this is a great video. So you can see that
It comes with a lifter, $4, and we're able to wear this 400-pound table by ourselves, and we're easily going to hire 4 people to look the same. Now we're struggling with it right on your bed. We can easily schedule regenerate with the help of this guy, and now you can move things all by yourself, no more bringing piercing book with other, because sometimes that could take forever. This has honestly been one of my favorite useful lives. It saved us so many times, and the possibilities are endless.
All right, so it's so easy to demonstrate your product. Now, you can say, well, this is a water bottle. I can also demonstrate this product by opening it, drinking it, put it down. Demonstration. But there's no good hook to it. Like, you see someone drinking water out of a water bottle on TikTok, why would you stop? But this made me stop. So you really have to think about, how can I make my customers stop? So there's another product called like Shilajit on Amazon. This was doing really, really well on Amazon. And this is like kind of black tarry look. So a lot of people were basically making videos, these black tars in their mouth, and it kind of like, whoa, it's like, what is this guy doing? This guy's crazy. So at least it made someone stop. So when you are selling your product, you really got to figure out a hook that works. Now, you can steal from other hooks. You can go on TikTok or Instagram and take a look at, just typing in your product, see what kind of videos are viral already. If there's not a viral video, then it probably means that it's probably hard to get a good hook. It probably means that people actually don't care about your product from a viral perspective that much. So one of the tests I would do is I would go on TikTok and Instagram and type in Shilajit and see the top views, how many views that these videos have, and then kind of see what they did with their hook. And then you can kind of use that as well for your own product. So yeah, that's a really, really good test. So margin, I mean, this is huge, right? Again, there's a lot of fees with selling online. There's ads, you got to pay creators, this and that, same as any business. But margin is so damn important. I just don't think people understand how to calculate their margins properly, especially after costs, after PPC, especially after shipping, inventory, just all these different things. So you got to be able to actually have good margins for your product. Nowadays, I think it's more important than ever to actually have some sort of a higher ticket product. So when I first started selling on Amazon, I think you can get away with, honestly, products that are $9, $10, $12, $15. But nowadays, I really want everybody's minimum to be like at least bottom, okay, $40. And even this is probably a little bit too low, but you got to have selling price. This is selling price, at least $40 minimum. And now you might ask, well, how much does it cost to actually ship this? I think that your landed cost, okay, in America, including your cost of goods sold, duties, taxes, everything, should be at least, divide that by 4. So 40 divided by 4 is $10. So that is the max that you have to pay for this product. So you got this product landed cost at $10, then you can sell it on Amazon for $40. Now, of course, the larger the spread, the better it is. But I think this is the minimum. Now, the next thing is, can this product have repeat customers? So you think about different categories you think about different products that we have around us, right? You think about, for example, a camera. I'm looking at a camera right now. Do they have repeat customers? Not really. Like, if I'm going to buy a camera, I'm probably going to keep that for a very long time. On the other side, coffee. This is a consumable. I drink a cup of coffee every single damn day. So this is something that I'm a repeat customer of Starbucks, right? So that's why I think there are certain categories on Amazon that are more attractive. So for example, I asked ChatGPT what different categories there are on Amazon. Then from here, I'm just going to be like, okay, which categories above have consumable products, repeat purchase products that I can sell? All right, so you got health and personal care, of course, supplements, you got groceries and foods, you got, beauty and personal care, skincare products, hair care products, makeup, you got pet supplies, pet food, pet supplements, even waste bags, you got baby products. So there's a lot, right? There's cleaning products, there's office products, there's home products. So you definitely want to sell something that has that sort of the subscribe and save feature on Amazon, something that has repeat customer purchase. And that's what we did with Sdara Skincare, right? With plant stands, not really. I mean, You could argue that it does have repeat customers, but if you have 5 plants and you put 5 plants out on the plant stand, unless they have new plants, they're not going to buy new plant stands. You know what I mean? This one is skewed expansion. It's like, can you have more products in your product pipeline? Can you create a brand around this? It is so important to create a brand in 2025, more important than ever. So before, I told people like, okay, let me backtrack. There are different ways to do Amazon. And if you're okay with just making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, you can get away with not creating a brand. But I'm talking about longevity. I'm talking about growing this brand. I'm talking about having something that one day you can sell for millions. You want to have a brand, okay? Think of, Nike versus Walmart. Walmart just sells a bunch of random stuff like a dollar store. Dollar store sells a bunch of random stuff, whereas a brand like Lululemon or Nike or, I don't know, like whatever, Starbucks, they all focus on creating a brand. I would say in 2025, at least personally speaking, I'm just telling you what I would do, is I would create brands, okay? I wouldn't sell random stuff on Amazon just to flip for a quick profit. So yeah, other products that I can sell to my customers in this niche. Now, the last one is quite interesting. So the last one is search volume. Now, there are 3 different ways to approach this. So, and all 3 actually works. They're just 3 different strategies, I would say. So one of my friends, Damien, so he launched this brand called Tannies. Okay, Tannies. So it's basically gummy bears for people. And if you eat this gummy, then basically you get more, your skin becomes darker is basically what the value proposition here is. But if you take a look at tanning supplements on Amazon, so all I'm trying to say is before he launched this product, there was no search term for this. Like a few hundred people per month would be looking for this. Yeah, look. So we got tanning gummies. And you can see that, yeah, look at this. Perfect. So you can see that the search volume was super low, super low. No one was searching for this. And then after he kind of launched and then a bunch of other people launched, the search volume spiked up. Now you might be wondering, like, how did this happen? Well, he did a lot of TikTok influencer seeding. So he will go on TikTok and give his product to influencers. They will talk about it. And then people will actually come on Amazon to actually search for it. I've always taught that, in my course at least, that you should be looking for something that has existing search volume. Now, existing search volume means that people are already looking for this product. It's safer that way, in my opinion, but at the same time, that means that there are a lot of competition. However, if you look for something that's non-existing, so again, Damien's is a perfect example, right? This is pretty much non-existing. 13 searches per month. I just categorize as non-existing. Yeah, this is, very, very little people search for this, right? Yeah, so basically, with non-existing, you can create these markets using TikTok influencers. I always taught people to look for existing demand because I think that's a little bit less risky. But the problem with existing demand means that there are competitions. Now, with competitions, what you can do is you can kind of niche down. So, for example, there's a company called Primal Queen. So there are beef organs. This is a huge trend. So if you go to Google Trends and then type in beef organs worldwide, and then go to, so you can see that this is the trend that kept on going up. People are more interested in beef organs. And he realized that a lot of beef organs brands, they were all targeting men. So he basically just created one that's targeting women. That's it. So that's niching down. That's using existing demand that's already in the marketplace, but then he found a niche. So if everybody is targeting men, I can target women. That's a very, very simple one. Another one is like creatine. So a lot of people take creatine as a form of supplement, but then one guy, he created a company where he, instead of powder form, he basically made it gummies. Now, the product I don't think is good because I think the best way to actually eat creatine is just using the monohydrate and then blend it up or put it in water and drink it. And then gummies, there's like sugar, but you know what, whatever. But he's making millions. So you got to think of creatine is something that's already quite saturated, and he just thought of a different way to actually absorb the product. Now, this is emerging search volume. So this is kind of like our derma roller, actually. People started kind of looking for derma rollers, and then they they saw the spike, and then we saw the spike, and then we kind of got in at the right time. It's hard to catch these waves, I would say. It's extremely difficult to find products that are emerging unless you're doing a lot of research 24/7, which is fine. I mean, you can ask ChatGPT, you can watch YouTube videos. Like, there are influencers now that have a larger reach, like Joe Rogan, like Andrew Huberman. These people have podcasts, they reach millions of people, and if they're like, hey, by the way, if you eat glass, you can live longer, like, people literally start eating glass. So that's like, obviously, it's an example, but they do promote these like supplements, and they'll talk about it, and then you can see like a rise on Google Trends right after the episode is dropped, and then people start buying it, and then that's kind of how emerging markets get developed again. So you'll have to basically do a lot of market research. You'll have to listen to a lot of these podcasts. You'll have to basically keep your finger on the pulse to see what's happening. So yeah, I mean, these are kind of existing demand. For example, like another friend of mine, his name is Steve. I made a YouTube video with him on my YouTube channel, and he goes after existing search volume, existing demand. He goes after companies that are huge. So Procter & Gamble. Yeah, I mean, this is another great example, I guess, is Native Deodorant. So Native Deodorant has been around for a long time. It's not a emerging, or it's existing. The search volume is existing. But then what they did was they said, hey, the problem with deodorants is that they got aluminum, they got parabens, stuff like that. So why don't we actually create something that is healthier for you? So they created a all natural deodorant, but that's a existing. So that's niching down, right? They're taking something huge, they're niching down. Primal Queen, they're taking something existing, they're niching down. There are a lot of these examples, but a friend of mine, basically Steve, what he does is that he just uses 100% on competitive advantage with his marketing skills. So he goes after Procter & Gamble companies. So I'm talking about like carpet remover. So like, for example, if you take a look at like carpet deodorizer, cleaner. So a lot of these companies are huge, right? I think there's now more brands, but you see like what are they called? Arm & Hammer. You got, a lot of these big brands. If you walk down the aisle of any sort of like Whole Foods or Safeway or whatever, you see these old brands, and he will just basically go after them because he's like, these guys are way too slow. They can't launch anything. They can't invent anything. Basically, the people that are taking care of the account work a 9-to-5 job, and afterwards they check out. So he feels like if he launched something similar, he can actually outrank them and he can outcompete them. So that's kind of his theory, and obviously it's been doing really, really well. So anyways, so these are sort of the product criteria checklist that I personally would have. I think the last one is the most interesting one. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and see you guys in the next video.